So this morning was such a blast. A couple mornings ago, the aliens took me to CVS. I was walking around shopping at CVS. It was a blast. That was a few mornings ago. But this morning, man, it was like so much fun. And I think, as far as I remember, a few weeks ago, I don't know, maybe not a few weeks ago, a week ago, I was trying to give them ideas. Like, take me to Bass Pro, take me to Idaho, take me to Maine. So anyway, they took me to Bass Pro. And like I said, as far as I remember, I was giving them ideas, and I did mention Bass Pro, you know, to take me to under Lucid Dream or whatever. And, I think I slept so late, because it was cloudy outside, because normally I'm up by like 7:30, and I didn't even wake up till like 8:30. But I got up and went pee-pee. I don't know what time it was. It's probably 3 or 4 a.m. And I'm like, okay, I didn't get anything yet. Well, I can't remember if I started talking to the aliens or not. I think maybe I did. And then so this morning, I got something really good after I got up and went pee-pee. And like I say, it was cloudy outside. I think that's why I slept till like 8:30 almost. But anyway, so they took me to Bass Pro Shop. And in the scenario, oh my God, it was like a mall. It was like it was like 10 times bigger in the scenario than in real life. This was like OBE, virtual reality. This was OBE-VR-lucid dream. Out-of-body experience, virtual reality, lucid dream. It was all those three things. And so basically, me and Mom, oh my God, and it lasted for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I was walking from, back of the store to the, all the way through the store to the front of the store, or back of the store, front of the store, all the way down the, the aisles or whatever, or all the way down the, the store. I mean, for like hours and hours and hours and hours, because I was trying to find the exit where the turtles are. And the scenario started where it was just my mom. And like I say, the whole store too was like totally like empty. I only came across, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I'll have to count, but I only came across, it was me, my mom, but she was only in the scenario briefly. So it was basically me, that big tall guy, 2 females, and there was about 3 other people. That's the only people that were in this scenario. And in the scenario, like I say, it was like a mall. The Bass Pro Shop was like a mall. It was so big. Like 10 times bigger than in real life. And it's pretty big in real life. But anyway, so basically me and Mom went into the went into the entrance. And I think there's 2 or 3 entrances. One of them goes to where there's alligators. And the last time I went into Bass Pro, I forgot to look over there to see if the alligators were still in there. The turtles were still there, of course. But I forgot to walk on down. Well, actually, I did walk on down and go out through that other exit in real life. And I forgot to look over there to see if the little bitty gators were still there. Which they probably were, after everything opened back up again. Well, anyway, so under the scenario, me and Mom walked through that one entrance. And the turtles are just like right there in the pond, those turtles. So we walked in that entrance. Well, and then, of course, we get abandoned from each other. This is a recurring theme. Aliens always do that. They make me abandoned. Like they took me to England under OBE, and I was walking through this big old mall, and me and Mom got abandoned again. And for hours and hours and hours and hours, I was trying to look for her. So basically, that was the same situation in this scenario. I was trying to find my mom and the exit that, that goes where the turtles are, that goes out to the parking lot. But the scenario, and like I said, when I was younger, I always had a fear of abandonment and shit. And like one time I got stuck in the bathroom. I guess I didn't know how to unlock the lock or whatever when I went into the dealership. And I started screaming. I think I was like 4 or 5. But, so I don't know. So the aliens like to abandon me. I guess because I had a fear of abandonment when I was little. But, yeah, so in the scenario, me and Mom, this was an OBE-VR-lucid dream. So me and Mom in the scenario, we walked through the front entrance where the turtles are. The turtles are there's the checkout area, and then there's like a thing of candy and shit, and then there's the turtles. And so we walked in that area, and then of course I get abandoned. And this lucid dream, the Bass Pro Shop was nothing like what it is in real life. I mean, this was like oh yeah, and it was so awesome. It felt like I was in a different dimension. It felt like I was in a freaking mall. I mean, a huge mall. But like I said, there's only a total of like 6 people in the whole damn Bass Pro Shop. But so basically, yeah, it started, we walked in through the entryway, and then I get abandoned from her. And so then I start walking all the way to the back of the store, all the way to the front of the store, back and forth. And for hours and hours and hours and hours. And like I say, the scenario lasted hours and hours and hours and hours in non 3D time. And then, okay, so then my whole purpose was I just kept walking around, trying to find my mom and trying to find, the exit, which is, entry and exit. It's the same thing. The entry and exit where the turtles are. Because I was trying to find that point in the store where the turtles are, because I knew that was the exit to go out of, because that's how we came in. And so I'll tell you about some of the things that happened along the way. And see, so these scenarios, they're like so fucking long. I mean, they last hours and hours and hours and hours, and there's this bit and piece that's trying to come back, because I'm trying to forget it, and it's trying to come back. This other bit and piece. Oh yeah. I gotta hurry up and say this. Oh shit, I gotta hurry up, say this, because it's just about went away. Okay, one of the parts, as I was walking along for hours and hours trying to find my mom, I tried. I went into a little store, and even in real life Bass Pro Shop, they have a couple other little bitty stores within the store. So I went into a little shop within the Bass Pro Shop. I went into a little shop. And that was the part that I just about forgot, and it was trying to come back to me right here and now. And I went to the little shop, and there was, the worker was like a young female worker, and she was kind of standing around behind the cashier or whatever. It was just a little bitty shop. And in real life, when we went to Bass Pro Shop, we came across some of those little bitty shops or whatever that they had within the Bass Pro Shop. So in the scenario, I went inside this little shop as I was walking along for hours and hours, trying to find my way back to the exit and entryway, where the turtles are, that point of where the turtles are, and the little pond. And so this is kind of weird, because in real life there wouldn't be something like that in a Bass Pro Shop. But what was in this little store, within the store, it was just a little bitty room. It was just a small little store, a little bitty, just a little bitty room, like 100 square foot, or probably a little less than 100 square foot. And there were all these like beakers. Is that what you call them? Yeah, beakers. And I know the aliens probably copied from a long time ago when I went down into the basement of the old man that lived next door. It was a dilapidated, deserted house, and we went down in the basement and got all these antique little beaker looking bottles, glass bottles, and some of them had food coloring in them from a long time ago, because the mom back in 1800s used to have a fountain shop. And so in real life, I think the alien was, but I only picked up all the bottles that were empty. I didn't pick up the bottles that actually had the coloring still in there. In real life, there was red food coloring. It was like syrup or something. And there was some blue food coloring. I picked up some of the bottles, the antique bottles that were empty. That was after Frank already had died or whatever, and the house was deserted. I think the daughters lived in Kansas City, and they just never did come and really take care of him or anything. But so basically in the little shop, there was all these like beakers, except the beakers were a lot fatter. In my scenario, there was all these beakers, these glass bottles, like antique looking bottles, glass see-through bottles. It was a little store where you could buy like food coloring and crap. And they were just all over the counter, all these bottles that were like 4.5 inches wide at the bottom. And there was all these different colors, like I don't know if it was food coloring or if it was syrup. I really don't know. But I thought when I went in there, like I knew it had something to do with either food coloring or syrup. And it was all different colors, and they were like all over the counter, and you could buy them. So that was one of the shops that I went into. Okay, so then there was about 3 other times as I kept walking up and back, up and back, up and back the whole fucking store, which each time it probably took an hour walking through the store up and back each time as I was trying to find the exit to go out of, the exit point to where the turtles were. The doors right there. And so that was one of the little stores that I went into, within the Bass Pro Shop. And then there was 3 other times right at the very end of the store, which took me a long time to finally walk there. I thought, okay, well maybe here's the, I thought it was going to go farther. The store was going to go farther. And I started walking into, went into, it was like bathrooms and locker rooms. And, but it was, I remember, I was like, oh, I think I'm in the wrong bathroom or something. It was like it was like a man's bathroom, because there was like an older man, like, I don't know, like 50s or whatever. And then a younger boy, like, I don't know, like 13 or something. And I thought, okay, well, are these supposed to be the bathrooms? And I think I went in the wrong bathroom. It was like the man's bathroom. I don't remember seeing stalls, but it was like a bathroom or a locker room. And I remember, and I was like, oh crap. And the impression that I got when I looked at them, I thought I was gonna get mugged, because the boy looked at me like all evilly, and I thought I was gonna get mugged or something, because they looked like they were up to no good, the father and the son. And then I was just like, okay, I think I'm in the wrong bathroom or something. So then I turned back around, and like I say, there was like a couple other little, like, or big bathrooms right there, and I had just went into the wrong one or something. And then I realized, okay, well that's not going to lead me to the exit point to go out of the store. And that happened 2 or 3 times, me getting stuck in the corner right there where there's like 3 bathrooms. And like I say, that boy kind of had lighter reddish hair, and he was just kind of looking at me like, anyway, I thought I was going to get mugged or something, but I didn't. Okay, so then I walked back out of that area, and then I walked to a little area where there were some stairs to go upstairs, and there was this big, huge, tall guy, and I've been having that on the brain because I've been watching Game of Thrones, and like that one guy, and I like to look up like the interviews, see what they're like in real life, their personality, and that one guy, as he was sitting there, Clegane or whatever, I was like, whoa, I can tell he's a big mofo just sitting there in the chair when he was doing an interview. And of course his personality was nothing like in the Game of Thrones. And so I looked him up, and he was 6'6". That's basketball player height. And so I had that on the brain. So there was this one man, I don't know if the alien was trying to copy him, but it looked nothing like him. The alien didn't do a very good job. But I did come across, okay, as I was about to walk up the stairs, there was this, but as I was about to walk up the stairs, there was this big, tall, huge guy, and he probably, I don't know if he was 6'6", but he could have been about 6'5" or 6'4". He was pretty damn tall, but he was pretty damn big too. And he did have kind of shorter brown hair, but he looked nothing like the guy in Clegane. I mean, the Clegane guy, Hound. And so I think the alien was trying to put a similar person in there in my scenario. And anyway, so there was this big, huge guy that was just standing there at the point of to go up the stairs or whatever. And I started talking to him, and he was like a friend, a very good friend of the owner of Bass Pro. He was a really good friend, of the owner of Bass Pro. And he told me that, and I was trying to ask him how to, and I know I'm fucking forgetting some things. I'm going to forget some stuff, so he told me, I was asking him, how the hell do I get out of the store? And he was trying to tell me how to get out, and at one point I'm thinking, okay, and I remember thinking in my head, why is he not giving me very good directions? Because he acts like he's been in the store a lot, and he's friends of the owner, And I remember he wasn't like giving me very good directions at all to try to get out of the store, to find to where those turtles were, to go out of the store. Because that's where the doors were, you know, the exit and entry, and that's where me and Mom walked in. But yeah, so that was all kind of funny. And then he kind of told me to go back over that way, and so I did. I started walking back the other way or whatever. I never did walk up the steps, as far as I remember, but I was there near the steps that went up to, you know, the second level of the store. And you know, like I say, that guy looked about 50. He was huge. I mean, he could have been 6'6", maybe 6'7". He was huge, and he had short brown hair. But he looked nothing like the Hound guy. I totally remember what he looked like, but I don't know of anybody in real life that looks like this guy. And so anyway, so then I started walking again. Okay, no. Okay, so after that point, okay, this is kind of funny. After that point, I go look at some shoes, you know, on the racks, and I actually put on a pair of shoes. And I was gonna try to, well, that part was kind of unclear. I don't know if I really wanted to steal them, or I just felt like it was just the best thing to do since they were already on my feet. And I didn't see any tags or anything that would activate the thingamajigger. I didn't see any tags, so my intention was just, because I wanted to try to find my mom, and my intention was just go ahead and leave them on my feet. And I had these thoughts of like, well, at one point I thought they were like $40, and then another part of me, I was thinking, I think they were more like $75, and I was like, I would never pay $75 for a pair of shoes. And then, but so that part was unclear. I can't remember if they were like $40 or 70. I mean, if they were either 40 or 75, but I actually put them on my feet, and they were like a tennis shoe, you know, just kind of like a Nike tennis shoe. And like I said, I left them on my feet. And the other pair of shoes that I had on, I think I just left them on the floor. And then I started walking around in that brand new pair of shoes. And like I say, my intention was just to go ahead and leave them on my feet, because I looked down and I noticed there weren't any tags, and I knew nothing would activate the sensors or whatever. So my intention was to sort of steal them. And but I was just gonna steal them only because I was just trying to hurry up and get out of the store, because I had already spent hours and hours and hours and hours trying to find, you know, the exit to where I could go out of the store and find my mom. And never in the scenario did I ever find my mom, and never did I leave the store. The scenario ended where, you know, I still never did get to find my mom or go out of the store. And like I say, this went on for hours and hours and hours and hours, me going up and back, walking, and I swear to God, it probably took an hour each time as I tried to, one part of the store, walking up and back, up and back, up and back, and it was more like a freaking mall in the scenario, the Bass Pro Shop. And, okay, so there's a couple other parts, and like I said, I know I'm probably forgetting some things, because, I mean, these scenarios last hours and hours and hours, and it's hard to remember every single thing. But I almost forgot that part about the beakers, the glass beaker, and I can't believe that came back to me. Okay, so, okay, here's the other funny part, and the aliens have done this many, many times before. They put water, like a big pool of water in my scenario. Well, anyway, so after I, like, put my shoes on and shit, I mean, well, their shoes, after I put Bass Pro shoes on, and everything, and they were nice looking shoes. They were brand new. They were nice looking, almost like a Nike pair of leather. And so as I started walking the other direction, the opposite of where those bathrooms were and where those two men were, I finally walked upon, I looked over to the left, and there was glass, you know, glass windows, and it was a big old swimming pool, a big swimming pool behind the glass. And I was like, wow, I didn't know Bass Pro Shop had a swimming pool. And there was nobody in the pool. There may have been one person in the pool, but it was basically deserted. And I thought, okay, well, I'll just go swimming. But the funny part is, here's the funny part. And like I say, this isn't the only time the aliens have done this. The water actually went all the way out into the store. It was still behind the glass. The pool was behind the glass, the swimming pool, and this was a big swimming pool. But the water still went all the way out into the store and the walkway. And I actually start swimming. I mean, I started swimming like la 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 la. I started swimming. And, you know, I didn't actually go behind the glass into the pool because the water, I mean, part of the pool was like, it took up part of the store, you know what I'm saying? And I realized, you know, in real life, I mean, it couldn't have done that unless there was walls, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But the aliens, they have, you know, they can create anything. And so basically I started swimming, just la 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 la. I started swimming. I swam for about, at least, I don't know, 50 yards maybe? I don't know, like 30, 40 yards? Or 50 yards maybe. I swam, you know, that length. And then I got out of the water. And then, you know, I was on dry area again. And so, yeah, so that part was really cool because I looked over to my left and then I was like, wow, I didn't know Bass Pro Shop had a swimming pool. And then, of course, I noticed all the water was just right there in front of me as well. And I started swimming. And so then I started to get on dry land and I started to proceed walking, you know, on down, trying to find the exit point to where the turtles were so I could go out of the store and find my mom. Okay, so then I came across two lesbian looking employees. They looked young, about 30s or whatever. They two lesbian looking employees. And then I started asking them. They were trying to tell me how, you know, to get out of the store and where the exit point was to where I could, you know, go find my mom and everything. And at this point, I got my cell phone. Okay, yeah, so basically, as far as I remember, I had both phones with me. I was dicking around with both phones. This old one that I have, and this dumb iPhone I have, this old-fashioned iPhone. But this one, and at one point I would pick up this one, and I was trying to dial, and I even remember seeing my mom's exact phone number. I was trying to dial 417-830, blah 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 blah. And I just couldn't seem to, because I was trying to call her, and I was like, well, let me try to call my mom, you know? And so I tried to call her many times on this phone under the scenario. And with my iPhone as well, I was looking down, and I was trying to like 413-830. And then you know, and it just seemed to be like I was having a hard time trying to call her. The aliens do that a lot too. Like I'll be trying to call somebody, and you just can't do it, you know? You just can't get it to work or whatever. Or you're like playing softball, you know, and you're trying to hit the ball and you just can't hit the ball. Like the aliens do that a lot. Well, they haven't done that in a while, but they used to do that a lot, you know, when I was playing sports and stuff, give me lucid dreams like that. And so basically I was doing that, and those two girls, those two workers, they were just trying to tell me, okay, like here's the best way to go to try to get out of the store and stuff. And I know I can't remember, you know, there's other things that we talked about too, and I just can't, you know, other things that she said, other things I said or whatever, like I heard trying to tell me how to get out of the store, but I can't remember every single word. And like I said, I can't remember every single word as I was having a conversation with that man too, when he told me he was like one of the best friends of the owner of Bass Pro. And he says he goes there all the time, you know, to shop and crap. And, but like I say, he didn't give me very good directions trying to get out of the store, because I was just like, in my head, I was like, he's not doing a very good job, you know what I mean? So anyway, so there was that part when I met up with those two female workers. And, okay, I'm trying to think. Okay, the shoes, and the swimming pool, and the men, and the guy, or the man and the guy that were trying to mug me. And like I say, that happened 2 or 3 times as I, you know, got stuck in a little nook and cranny of the store, and it wouldn't go any farther. It was like a clump of like 3 bathrooms and locker rooms. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't right. I can't go anywhere here, you know? And so I turned back the opposite direction. And, yeah, so, let's see, what else? See, I know I'm forgetting some other parts, man. But, it was a blast, man. And, like, sometimes I wonder some of these scenarios might last 2 or 3 hours. And that's why I slept so late. I mean, even though the scenario lasted, like, freaking 7 hours, you know, when I was in bed having the scenario, and may have lasted 2 or 3 hours. And so yeah, so there was that part when I came across the 2 female workers, but the swimming pool was like so cool. It was just like, I was just like, wow, it was huge. And it was see-through, it had glass. It had glass walls, see-through glass walls. And that part was really cool. And then I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. And like I say, the whole time I had glimpses of, the area where the turtles are and the front entry and exit point. I kept having glimpses, but I never could find my mom, and I never could find how to get out of the store. And I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. But basically, it was like a mall, man. I was just walking up and back, forever and ever, trying to find how to get out of the store, and it was like almost like a mall. And I know I'm forgetting some stuff though, and it's really weird. Sometimes I'll talk about like this lucid dream, and then other lucid dreams, I mean, they could be from years ago, are trying to seep through. Because I know the aliens they've given me, I know they've taken me to Bass Pro before under OBE-VR-lucid dream, many years ago. But even other scenarios will try to like seep through. And where I'm remembering all these other like lucid dreams from, years ago. It's so weird. But it was fun, man. It was such a blast. And then when I woke up, I was like, it was cloudy. And it was almost, because I was like, is it 7:25 or is it 8:25? And it was like almost 8:25. Because like I said, I went to bed at 11, and normally I wouldn't have slept that late. But I slept that late because I was having this awesome lucid dream. Where I was walking around Bass Pro for hours and hours and hours and hours. But yeah, it was freaking fun, man. Shit, and I know I'm forgetting some, small parts. And I know there was another little store I went in, but I can't remember the merchandise it had. And like I said, I almost forgot that one with the beakers and the syrup, the colored syrup, or dye, the red and blue, yellow, green dye and shit. I almost forgot that little scene, but I know there's some other scenes that I'm forgetting, but I remember most of it, 99%. But it was a blast, man. But thanks for listening.